The house at 13 Blackthorn Lane was a haunting enigma in our neighbourhood. Its colossal silhouette towered over the other dwellings, standing like a grim sentinel, casting long, foreboding shadows that seemed to swallow the inherent cheerfulness of our little community. The dweller of 13 Blackthorn Lane was an ever-present spectre of the eerie tales that circulated amongst us, tales that were whispered with a shiver of dread and a glance over one's shoulder, tales that were far too chilling to be dismissed as mere products of overactive imaginations. This house, abandoned and uncared for, had stood the test of time and become an eerie monument to the mysteries that time seemed to have conveniently forgotten. Its windows, akin to hollow eye sockets, stared blankly at the world. They appeared to hold secrets in their depths, secrets that were yearning to be discovered, to be brought to light from the shrouded darkness. And I, a seeker of the unknown, an explorer of the unseen, found myself irresistibly drawn to the allure of the house, my curiosity gnawing at the edges of my sanity like an insatiable beast. Every day, as I passed by this intimidating monolith of mystery, I could feel its pull growing stronger, more compelling. The wind around it seemed to whisper cryptic messages, messages that I strained to understand, hoping to catch a fragment of the mystery. The rustling leaves of the skeletal trees surrounding the house seemed to murmur tales of its past, tales that were as chilling as they were intriguing. The creaking of the aged gate seemed to issue an invitation, inviting me into its enigmatic embrace. I could almost hear the house beckoning me, its voice carried on the gusts of wind that rustled through the skeletal trees surrounding it. One cloudy evening, under the watchful gaze of a luminescent moon, I found myself standing before this house, almost as if drawn by an invisible force. The wind howled around me like a chorus of tormented souls, the moonlight casting an ethereal glow on the decrepit facade. The darkness seemed to seep out of every crack crevice, wrapping the house in a shroud of unease and foreboding. Yet the thrill of the unknown, the lure of the unseen, overpowered my apprehension. With a deep breath, I approached the gate. Its ironwork was twisted and gnarled like the fingers of a spectral hand, extending an invitation into the unknown. It creaked open at my touch, echoing through the stilled night, a chilling prelude to the symphony of mystery that awaited me. The air was heavy with anticipation, and a chill ran down my spine as I crossed the threshold. Then, without further hesitation, I pushed open the creaking gate and ventured inside. The house, a labyrinth of forgotten tales and haunting mysteries, awaited me silently. The stillness was broken only by the echo of my footsteps, a solitary sound in the vast, quiet night. The exploration, the journey into the heart of the haunting enigma at 13 Blackthorn Lane had begun. The air was thick with mustiness, and a chill ran down my spine as I stepped over the threshold. It was as if I had crossed into a realm untouched by time, where the past clung to the present like a spectre. The interior was a symphony of decay, a testament to years of neglect. Cobwebs hung from the ceiling like tattered drapes, and dust coated every surface, turning once vibrant colours into muted shades of grey. The scent of mildew permeated the air, a subtle reminder of the house's long abandonment. Furniture, covered in sheets worn thin by time, sat like silent sentinels guarding forgotten memories. Each step I took was met with the groan of weary floorboards, echoing the house's lament of its bygone glory. An ominous hush hung in the air, punctuated only by the eerie creaking of the house settling. Every corner I turned, every room I entered seemed to shape-shift subtly, as if the house was a living entity, contorting itself to disorient me. I could feel the weight of unseen eyes tracking my every move, a prickle at the back of my neck that wouldn't fade. The air seemed to hum with an energy that was almost palpable, making my skin crawl. Shadows danced along the walls, playing tricks on my mind, and distant whispers teased my ears, though no one was there. The house was alive, its heartbeat matching the rhythm of my own. My heart pounded against my chest as I ascended the dilapidated staircase, each step eliciting a groan from the ancient wood. The upstairs was a labyrinth of hallways, each one more oppressive than the last, yet one hallway stood apart from the rest. It was a parade of faces from the past, a grand gallery of portraits, stern-faced individuals of all ages, captured in oils and framed in gilded wood, lined the walls. Their eyes, dark and penetrating, seemed to follow my every move, their expressions unchanging. It was a silent audience, their painted gazes a chilling testament to the house's eerie past. With each step I took, the feeling of being watched intensified. The portraits, though lifeless, seemed to hold a spectral vigil, their eyes tracking my progress with an unnerving precision. A chill ran down my spine as I navigated through this hallway of portraits, an eerie tribute to the house's former inhabitants. Their gazes felt unnervingly real, as if they were watching me, judging me. I stumbled upon a door slightly ajar, a beckoning invitation into the unknown. A sense of foreboding washed over me, but curiosity, as it always does, won over. I pushed the door open and stepped into the abyss. The room was cloaked in darkness, the air thick with a sense of malevolence that made my skin crawl. As my eyes adjusted to the darkness, I noticed a faint, pulsating light in the corner. An antique mirror, its frame gnarled and twisted with age, was emanating a soft, eerie glow. It was as if the mirror was alive, pulsating with an energy that was both fascinating and terrifying. I approached it slowly, each step taking an eternity. My reflection stared back at me, but something was off. My face, usually so familiar, was twisted into a grotesque caricature. I recoiled in horror, but something held me in place. An unseen force, cold and unyielding, gripped me. The mirror, now a portal to my deepest fears, began to reveal scenes of unspeakable horror. Grotesque figures clawed their way out of the mirror, their faces contorted in agony. Their wails filled the room, a cacophony of terror that echoed in my ears. I was a prisoner in my own nightmare, unable to look away, unable to escape. In a desperate attempt, I reached out to shatter the mirror, to end the torment, but my hand passed through it as if it were made of mist. I was trapped, a marionette in the hands of a spectral puppeteer. The room spun around me, and I felt a chilling presence envelop me. A spectral entity, ancient and malevolent. It was the unseen force holding me captive, the puppeteer pulling the strings. The mirror began to crack, as if the very fabric of reality was fracturing. The entity's cold, spectral fingers gripped my heart tighter. My screams were drowned in the cacophony of unearthly wails. The mirror shattered, pieces of reality flying in all directions. But instead of liberation, there was only darkness. A darkness so complete, so all-encompassing, it consumed everything. Reality folded in on itself, and I was consumed by an all-consuming darkness. My world, my existence, everything was absorbed by this malevolent entity, leaving nothing but an echoing silence. The mirror, my tormentor, was no more, but in its place was an abyss, a void where I was left to drift, lost and forgotten. And so there I was, a mere whisper in the darkness, a forgotten memory in the annals of the haunted house at 13 Blackthorn Lane. The antique mirror, once a relic of the past, had become my prison, my nightmare, my reality. A chilling reminder of the house's dark history and the spectral entity that lurked within its walls.